what these piano players have in common? They all use a very simple trick that makes their playing sound pro instantly. So in this video, I'm going to show you what this trick is and how you can add it to your own playing. And if you'd like to have the PDF version of this video, you can get it for free down below in the description. Alright, so let's take the song Don't Stop by Fleetwood Mac, for example. We can hear the pianist playing a very specific pattern into the introduction. So it's basically doing... But what is it exactly? In music, we have something that we call the diatonic chord. It's when we create chords based on a scale. So for example, if I take the C major scale right here, C major is all the white key. So we have these notes right here. And if I create a chord, a triad chord over each note, we get to have these chords. It's basically just using the notes of the scale and we get different chord in there. Let's do the same thing but with the E major scale because Don't Stop is in E major. So in E major, we actually have F sharp, G sharp, C sharp, and D sharp that we actually need to think about because it's part of the scale. So if I do the same idea, I'm going to create triad chords using only the notes of the scale. We get to have the E, then moving here, like this. Now the trick that is really interesting here is that the chord movement we hear in the introduction is actually the one chord, which is E major here, and the four chord that is A major. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. But we keep it over the one root note right here, over the E. So it gives us like this. Alright, so this harmonic movement from the 1 going to the 4 is super powerful and simple, and all the piano players use that all the time. In our example here, we can see that if I go back to the right chord inversion, we have this going to the A. Those are just chord inversion, but it's the same chord right here. So E going to A and back to E. So basically 1 to the 4, 1 to the 4. Very useful to learn how to use this. So let's just look at another example here. Let's take the piano pattern from the song Old Time Rock and Roll by Bob Seger. So it goes like this. So what's happening here? He's using that for the whole pattern for each chord. All right, so let's take a look. So he starts here on F. So the chords for this song is F, B flat, and C. The 1-4-5, the classic 1-4-5. But when he starts here, he goes straight to the 4 of the 1, which is F. So for each of these chords, the 4 chord of the chord is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, B flat. So for F, we can go to B flat, like this. So he's going straight to the 4th degree of F with B flat. And back to the F, which is the chord right here. It's a lot more interesting because if I was only playing F, for example, it's kind of boring, right? It doesn't sound properly because you really want to hear that cool rock and roll vibe to the playing right here, and this is how you create it. So let's keep going. So we have B flat here, going back to F. Same here, again, twice the same thing, so he's moving between this. So B flat again, and now we're changing the chord. So he's going to the 4, which is B flat, but now he's going to be moving with the 4th chord of B flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we have E flat that we can use like that. So B flat going to E flat this time. So he goes like just like this. Same pattern, just a different chord. Then we're moving to C. So he goes to C right here. And the 4th degree of C is 1, 2, 3, 4 is F. So we can alternate between C and F like this. And back to F. Just like that. So just to recap here, he's going from F to B flat. Then when he's on B flat, he's going to E flat. And then on C, he's going on F. So again, 1, 4, and back to the 1, and back here. Alright? So this is how he does it in this song. But we can also hear this concept on organ song, just like in Give Me Some Lovin' by the Spencer Davis Group. And it goes like this. So we have in the verses, he plays so he's just moving between the 1 and the 4, so it's more interesting and we can hear some harmonic movement here. So it's G going to C. So 1, 2, 3, 4, C major is the 4th degree of G right here. So instead of playing only G for like forever, which would be like it would be a long time with the same chord, he's actually moving to the 4. And it's really interesting to go back here because it's a really beautiful cadence from the 1 to the 4, going back to the 1 and to the 4, and he's moving just like this. Also, just as a reminder, if you'd like to have the PDF version of this video, you can download it for free in the description just below. Alright, so now that you can hear and understand this harmonic movement, how can you actually use this in your own playing? This trick will always work when we have more time to spend on a major chord. So let's take another simple chord progression, which is the 1, flat 7, and 4 in C major. That gives us C, B flat, and F. We all know that chord progression. We've heard it so many times. So we're going to use those 3 chords and we're going to see how we can actually practice adding the 4. So from C, we can add the 4, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, F major. So we can go from C to F like this. All right. Something like this. Now if we go to B flat, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, E flat, just like in our old-time rock and roll, basically. Like this. And to F, we can add 1, 2, 3, 4, B flat. We're always basing our 4th chord on the scale of the chord you're playing here, the root. Like this. So F, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can go to B flat. Alright? So let's see if I create just a small groove using this concept here, what we can have. So and just like that, I created a different idea. You have many options for the rhythm, but what works best usually is when you move quickly between the 1 and the 4. Like like this. You go from the 1, 4, and you go back before you move. Like this. So the best way to practice this is just picking a chord progression. It can be any chord progression and try to add this idea of the 1 to the 4 on the major chords. So the secret is really to transpose this as much as you can on any chord progression, and you'll see you're gonna start adding this to your own playing. Amazing! Now that you know how to add this simple trick to your playing, you might want to check out this video on 5 cool rock chord progression where you can actually use it.